If a pool's in your future, maybe you'd like to know what types of pools there are.
Moving forward with the DekkerTeam. Moving forward together with the DekkerTeam.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of The Inside Track. And we're just talking now about the types of pools, Candace.
Yeah.
There's several types.
Yeah, there's an in-ground pool, which comes in different ones. You can get concrete, you can get fiberglass, you can get the typical liner pool, and then also above ground or like half and half. It's like 3 feet into the ground.
Yeah,
and
they call them on ground.
on ground. There you go.
Yeah. And then the other one, which I always thought I would like, but I'm unsure now, and that is the indoor pool.
Yes. Yep.
I think I would need like the Sky Dome, a retractable roof if I wanted, because there's something about swimming outdoors in the sun.
In the sunshine. Yeah. But there is something to be said for an indoor pool during the wintertime in your house.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Maybe I need a retractable roof. I wonder
There
what
you
that
go.
might cost.
Well, let's not.
Let's not go there.
No.
Now, I know for me, I've always wanted an in-ground pool. And I think part of that is there's a depth to it. You can dive, you can have a diving board, you can, usually they're larger.
Yeah.
But not always now. There's some pretty big above ground pools.
Yes.
But recently I was at a friend's house who has an above ground pool. And the nice thing is it's all one level. So it's just kind of
Chest
below
height.
my neck, chest height. And we could play like water gun games, sports, and whatever in it.
Yeah.
And you're not struggling to swim.
Right.
And although on the other hand, it's probably not as much exercise, although running against the water is some exercise.
Yeah. And you can always do a whirlpool in an above ground pool. That's always
whirlpool.
fun.
That's
yeah, when you walk around in the same
everyone
direction.
goes in the same direction.
Yeah.
And you get that water movement.
Yeah.
And then you turn around and go the other way.
That's right. In a big rectangular in-ground pool, you can't really do that.
No, you can't do that. Okay, so there's a pool trick for you to try sometime. And so indoor pools have their benefits and their issues,
Yes.
right? What are some of the benefits?
Benefits, like I said, you can swim in the wintertime.
Yeah.
It's 12 months around a year. And, you don't have to close it.
That's true, eh? No opening, no closing.
Yeah.
And I would think it might be a little expensive to heat that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Pretty expensive to heat and run. And then if you need maintenance on it and if there's a leak, that could cause a problem.
It's a little harder, right?
Yeah.
Because with indoor, your plumbing and stuff is...
Yeah. And typically they're all concrete, I believe. Yeah.
Concrete platform. You need a good air exchanger. And I've found I've shown and sold a few houses that have indoor pools. And although they work at keeping the pool out of the house, people go in and out of the door, and it seemed to get that chlorine smell
Yes.
into the house.
Yeah. Every house I've ever shown or seen has extra moisture in it.
Okay, even though they have the air exchangers and they're
Yes.
attempting to control that moisture,
Yeah.
you've got a large body of water that's inside your house, and it's not easy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember we have a property in Osgood that they had a pool, and the Aquafit and the lessons people rented it from them. So it was actually an income to help offset the cost of heating it and chemicals. And
That's right. Yeah.
so that's cool. Now I had another client who bought a house from me that had an in-ground pool and actually took it out.
Yep.
And that's an expensive little proposition. And he put a new floor in and turned it into a giant gymnasium, because usually indoor pools also have a very high ceiling.
That's right. Yeah.
And so he's got a great gym there now.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we talked earlier in another segment earlier before the commercial break about cost.
Yes. So for an in-ground pool, you're usually around $60,000 to $120,000 with landscaping. Now, keeping in mind resale, you're not going to get everything back typically. Like I know from my experience, I'm putting my pool in for my enjoyment. It's not for resale. I'm thinking of staying there long term. If I was only going to be living there for 5 years, I probably wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah. 5 years, probably an above ground pool would be a good solution. Or maybe decide to move to that ideal home, that ideal location with a pool.
That's right.
Sooner.
Yeah. And for us, because we're thinking we're going to be there pretty long term, instead of owning a cottage, a second property with maintenance and travel time and all of that, we're investing it into our backyard.
Right.
Yeah.
And many families spend, and you've got a reasonably large family. You've got 5 children.
Yes.
So the 7 of you. When it comes to go on vacation, that's an expensive trip.
Yeah. Especially with flights and overnight, you can't get just one hotel room.
No. It's 7.
Yeah.
You'd be fortunate if you can get in 2.
Yeah.
And so that's a big expense. And so if you think of vacationing at home in your backyard with the pool, how many years? Probably 5-10 years you would pay for your pool based on not going on big vacations out of the country.
And the other thing that's happening is even the teenagers are bringing friends over to the house because they have something to do. So then you get to know their friends better and they stay around home more.
Talk to me about that. Why is that important to you, Candace?
That's important to me because I like to know what's going on with my kids and it's easy to lose touch as they're growing up, and to have an activity that everyone can do together and you can involve friends is really great. Yeah, I
can see that. I know, like, people say, well, I put a pool table, I put ping pong table, I put a pool in
air hockey,
whatever it takes to get the kids to want to come to my house so you can keep an eye on them.
Yeah, and get to know their friends. Otherwise, there's not much opportunity.
So that's a little unfair advantage against the parents that aren't doing that. There's a little competition going on.
There we go.
Yeah. And great for parties?
Yes, great for parties, entertaining. And the mess stays outside instead of in the house.
Do you find you have more friends now that you have a pool?
I do.
That's great. And if here's a question: if someone's going to visit somebody with a pool and they're coming, mostly they want to see you, but also because you have a pool.
Yeah.
What would you like them to bring and do when they come to visit so we can create some pool etiquette? Okay,
pool etiquette. I would say don't rely on the host to have all the flotation devices for your family if they're required.
Okay.
And then number 2 would be towels. Bringing your own towels really helps, because then I'm not doing a load of towels a day or so.
Right.
And then 3 would be a snack to share with everyone to enjoy.
Some snacks.
Yeah.
Snacks for around the
pool.
pool.
Watermelon or a couple bags of chips. Just something to chip in. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, life is short. So if a pool's important to you, give us a call and we'll discuss your options with you.
Moving forward with the DekkerTeam. Moving forward together with the DekkerTeam.